there, welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. If this is the first time you've found me, yay, finally, I've been waiting for you. And if you're a returning subscriber, yay, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate your support. And my subscribers already know that my goal is to save you time and money by giving you the inside scoop on filmmaking quality and content so that you can decide whether or not you want to spend time or money or both sometimes watching a particular film. So today, the specific particular film I'm reviewing is called Trap. This cat and mouse thriller is now playing in theaters as well as on Fandango at home. It's rated PG-13. It's an hour and 45 minutes. And my overall movie review mom grade is maybe a C plus maybe. So I'll tell you why. First, I'll give you an overview in a nutshell. Then I'll point out things I liked, things I didn't like, tips for parents, themes worth talking about, funny lines, interesting lines, and we'll finish up with recommendations for other films that are sort of similar that you might also like or like better than this one. So first of all, in a nutshell, I love many of M. Night Shyamalan's movies, but some are definitely better than others. He finances his own films, and so he was able to continue filming this one during the SAG-AFTRA strike that recently occurred. The story is about a father and his teenage daughter who attend a pop concert only to realize that they've entered the center of a dark and sinister event. The story is based very loosely on real-life police operations that happened in the 1980s. Now, don't watch the trailer so that you'll be surprised because the trailer basically gives away the whole punchline, which is unusual for M. Night Shyamalan to allow that. But first, let me give you some tips for parents. We see men peeing in a men's restroom during the concert. We don't see body parts. We just kind of can see them doing their thing. There are people in dangerous situations, of course. People use firearms and knives. Someone gets tased with a stun gun. And there's a lot of other crazy things that happen that might not be appropriate for younger children, for sure. Some of the themes that are illustrated are forgiveness, family, criminal profiling, serial killers, anger, celebrity and its perks, parenting, choices, and consequences. So here's the list of things that I really did like about this film. First of all, Josh Hartnett. He gives a really good performance as the conflicted dad. I would love to have seen even more subtle layers on his face, like James McAvoy did in the movie Split. He was so excellent. Now, some people have been thrilled with Josh Hartnett's performance. And when I think of Josh Hartnett, I still think of the movie Pearl Harbor, where he was just so young and handsome and in love. And I think everybody likes him because of that. And I do. The rest of the cast, I thought, also did a really good job in their roles and includes Ariel Donahue, Allison Pill, and the legendary Academy Award winner, Haley Mills. Now, she's much older, and so younger crowds won't even recognize the legend that she is. I love it when M. Night Shyamalan has a cameo in each of his movies, and he does in this one as well. We get to hear some pretty good music and see a crispy concert that looks like something straight out of Taylor Swift or Lady Gaga. Now, I reviewed both of their movie versions of their live concerts. So if you're interested in seeing or learning more about those, definitely check out my reviews. Fun fact, M. Night Shyamalan produced films that his two daughters were involved with this year, including this one and The Watchers, which I still haven't seen yet, which was directed by his oldest daughter, Aishana Shyamalan. So, wow, talent. This movie is his daughter Salika's debut. She plays the pop star and is just lovely. She's a musician in real life and wrote 14 of the original songs for the movie, for, you know, her pop star character, which is amazing. She even opened for Boys to Men once. What a talented family. There is a twist, but like I said, if you've seen the trailer, you're not going to be surprised. The more fun twist would have been to switch who the real killer was at the very last minute. And so you kind of know, even at the very beginning of the movie, you see Josh Hartnett looking at his screen and you're like, what is this? What's going on? And then you piece it together pretty quickly. One thing that M. Night Shyamalan is good at is the use of creative and interesting camera angles, and he does that in this movie. So on to the list of things that I didn't like. As I mentioned, the trailer was really good, but gave away the secret of the twist. So if you can avoid it, don't watch it. Some of the father-daughter conversations I thought were kind of odd, and the father seemed a little too smiley happy in some of the scenes. There should have been way more frightened looks and tears in Act 3. Everyone seemed to underreact despite the tension, and I thought the tension was good. The only one who really seemed to understand the gravity of the situation was the mother. And so I kept thinking, oh, is it going to be the mother? Is that going to be the twist? You know, what would be a really good twist? I'm probably saying too much as it is. There are some very serious, unrealistic plot holes in this film, but I won't get into that. If you can overlook those, you'll probably have a good time. So whenever I watch movies, I write down the funny lines and interesting lines simply to share them with you so you can get a taste for the dialogue and script writing quality. But when I went back to look at the funny lines that I had written, I hadn't written down anything. It is a pretty serious drama, but I did write down a lot of interesting lines, and you can see all of them on my moviereviewmom.com website. I'll share some of them with you right now. One is a line by Shyamalan's character, the pop star. Lady Raven is her name, and she's speaking to the audience, and she says, I release you. And she's talking about forgiving those who have wronged her. And of course, that's a foreshadowing, not very subtle, but a foreshadowing of what's to come in the film. Another thing that she says to the audience is, you can choose to be good. Again, another foreshadowing and another good lesson. Another interesting line is spoken by Josh Hartnett, and he says, a lot of places that had fire code violations stayed vacant for years. Wasted space, I always thought. Again, another foreshadowing. And then this was a really interesting line, and I'm not going to say who the killer was, although you might have figured it out already from my review, or if you saw the trailer. And the killer says, talking about the urge that this killer has to kill people. The killer says, I get the urge when I see someone who thinks they're whole. It's not true. Everyone is in pieces. And so this killer is known for hacking up all of the pieces. Now, we do see some pictures, we see some blood, some stuff like that. So again, it's not appropriate for children. All right, so I wanted to share some recommendations for better movies by M. Night Shyamalan, at least in my opinion, that I think that you'll really like. So the first one that caught my attention is called The Sixth Sense. It's now become part of American filmography as an icon. It stars Bruce Willis. And what I loved about that one is there's so much symbolism, and it's very subtle. The first time I saw it, I was like, wow, what? At the very end, I'm like, oh, I missed all of that. And so I loved that. I appreciated that. And that really put him on the map, I think, in terms of a director who can really do something different and interesting. The next one that came out was a Mel Gibson movie called Signs. And he did such great film work, camera work in building tension. And I've seen that one several times as well. Love that one. And then a recent movie that really flew under the radar for a lot of fans is called Knock at the Cabin. What I loved about that movie is the whole time you're like, wait a minute, who are the crazy people here? You're like, is it them or is it them? And you really don't know until the very, very last scene. And I love that. And that's what M. Night Shyamalan is so great at doing, is surprising us and shocking us and twisting something that we just go, what? Wow, that's crazy. All right. So before you go, run over to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm all over a bunch of other social media platforms and see what I've got going on over there. I even have a Facebook group called Movie Review Mom. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Subscribe, like. If my movies are helpful, let me know, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.